Your storytelling is amazing. And the people like need to hear this. And I'm embarrassed because I went to Catholic school for 12 years. I can't quote any scriptures at all, except for the 23rd Psalm, which my mother taught me in the womb. She taught me and my brothers, you know what I mean? They had, but, you know, so your faith has a lot to do with everything. Keisha, what's good? Everything that
Yes.
is going on with you. And with you having your own club, yeah, Bruce, you know what it is as a Catholic. I don't know none of them scriptures. But you having your own club gives you that, and Ali, that distinct position where you can continually bless people
Right.
with stage time. You can
Right.
continually bless
So
them with
let,
experience.
let me be clear with something.
Okay.
So I opened my comedy club in 2020 because I don't want to mislead anyone. I opened my comedy club in 2020. 6 weeks later, the pandemic came. I was not able to get any grants. I was not able to get any funding because I had no revenue from the prior year. I had no financial records from the prior year because I wasn't open until January, till
The end of the
February.
year. Yeah.
Right. The year. With that being said, December 2020, I decided not to re-sign my lease because it was too much of a financial struggle for me, and I didn't see any way out. I couldn't continue to book comedians out of my pocket. I couldn't continue to book artists out of my pocket. So I made an executive decision to keep my comedy club as a mobile club, right? I was fine with that. Put my letter in to the mall because they were still charging me while the mall was open. I mean, while the mall was closed during the whole pandemic. They were sending me bills like you owe 20,000, you owe 22,000. I did not have the money. I did not have the money. I tried to raise money. I was able to raise $2,000 from all. It was 600 people at my grand opening. I was able to. I'm not going to say only. I was thankful enough to raise $2,000, but that was only covering a month's rent. So I decided that I'm just going to close. I opened the grand opening for 1 year. I had 600 people at my grand opening. I did 3 shows in one night. It was epic. I made history. There was a proclamation in the city of Patterson dedicated to Monique Latise for her contribution to comedy. So there's no one or nothing that can change that. But financially, and because of the pandemic, I was not able to move any further. The restaurant downstairs from me, which is the Hamilton Award Steakhouse, they called me and they said, listen, we understand what happened. We see your work. We saw you at the grand opening because I used their space for the grand opening. They said, let's collaborate. What nights do you need it? How do you want to run your comedy club? And I was in tears. I was like, you really gonna let me run my comedy club from your space? And I gave them all my stipulations and they agreed. So this situation, this partnership is so much better for me because Monique's Comedy Club is a virtual platform, a mobile platform. I was able to help another small business save their business as well as
Blessing people who bless you.
blessing people that bless me. So, I felt bad that I couldn't stay in the same space, but I couldn't fight Corona. Corona is a beast. I'm inside the Hamilton Award Steakhouse, and also what I've decided to do is I'm checking out other restaurants who want to bring Monique's Comedy Club to their location, just like
Okay.
Bananas. Bananas Comedy Club is inside the Holiday Inn.
Okay.
So you cut off a lot of overhead like that. So
Being
that's what
innovative.
we're looking to franchise the business and plan it in a lot of different sections around the U.S. So that's my goal right now.
Well, being such an innovator, I just got to let the horns go. I'm a DJ at heart, people. Please forgive me. So, listen. The people are loving it, and I don't want time to run out. So, I just want to ask, even with being in that space, how have you been able to do your shows? I know you do a lot of virtual, and I know you do, you know, like you said, you do a mobile. So what has it been like trying to figure out ways to stay relevant?
You know what I've realized? That I need help. I can't do everything by myself. I need a team. And I'm an only child. That was probably the most difficult thing that I had to accept during the pandemic. That I need a team. So right now I'm in the process of really team building and making my team solid. Because I'm looking to
Okay.
do some big things. And you need people that is gonna rock with you. You need people that's gonna rock with you for real, for real. It's been an adjustment. Even just doing virtual shows is an adjustment. Because I'm a crowd person. I'm an energy person. I'm an in-your-face comedian. I like to, toss and turn on stage. So for me to be able to stay calm and deliver, comedy virtually sitting down, I had to learn. I had to pray on it. I had to learn how to do that. But that's the gift and the talent I was telling you about. That I was speaking about. And artists know what I'm talking about.
So I did my research, and I saw that you had some experiences. You're talking about performing and all. You had some experience in Crunch Was Good. We had some experiences at the legendary Apollo Theater.
Yes, I did.
And they weren't too good in the beginning.
Well,
So
look.
let's get to that.
Okay, so let me say this. I got there. Let me just say this. I always challenge myself.
Okay.
Every year, I always challenge myself with something. I did McDonald's Gospel Fest. This year, I was like, that particular year, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do Showtime at the Apollo. I stood online for 12 and a half hours. 12 and a half hours.
She was waiting for Jordans?
Huh?
You was waiting for Jordans?
It felt like it. It felt like it.
Yeah.
And I had a show that day. When I got to the audition, I was in tears. I was ready to go. I was hungry. I had to use the bathroom. I did a quick set. They was like, all right, you're booked for Showtime at the Apollo, October. It was Halloween, 2018. So I was so excited. I was crying. I was like, I can't believe I was online for 12 hours. I was going to leave, and I made it. Got to the first show, Halloween. Top 10, your girl from Paterson, New Jersey, unheard of for comedy. I'm sorry, top 3. Top 3. I was number 3 at Showtime at the Apollo. I got a check from the Apollo Theater for coming up top 3.
Well, I need to go holler at the Apollo.
Yes. Lunel was in the audience.
I was going to get to that, but continue.
All right. Okay, we're going to wait for that. So I was like, all right, I made it to top 3. 7 days later, I had to come back for the second round.
Okay.
So I like to warm up the crowd and get the crowd hyped because I'm a hip hop person. Don't forget. So if you see most of my sets, my energy is high level, not because of the comedy part. That's the musical side.
That's your foundation.
Right. So any show that I do, when I come on stage, we're gonna make sure the crowd, the energy right. We're gonna make sure everybody bouncing like we had Summer Jam. So the crowd at the Apollo second round, they ain't want no parts of that. They was like, girl, bye. Sit down. Sit down. They booed me so bad, I couldn't believe it. My whole family was there. My mother just died. My grandmother just died. My grandmother. My boyfriend had just broken up with me. My kids were there. My family was sad because we just lost our grandmother. My like I said, my ex had just broke up with me, and they booed my monkey tail off that stage. They booed me so bad that the Sandman ain't even want to come out and get me. They was on the side of the stage like, get off the stage. You getting booed. They booed me so bad that I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. Because prior to that night, I was getting standing ovations at every show. Like every show, I was getting standing O's. That whole year. I was getting ready to open up my comedy. No, I had just decided. No, that wasn't that year. But anyway, I started thinking about what was next for me. and then end up getting booed on stage. So yes, Monique Latise was booed on stage, second round of the Showtime at the Apollo in 2018. But let me share this. Let me show you how God works in my life. You think God is going to allow me to get booed without get a blessing? Oh, he humbled me, but he always going to bless me. I would say about 6 weeks later, I get a call from the legendary Bob Sumner from Def Comedy Jam.
Shout out to Bob Sumner.
Shout out to Bob. If you are real comedy lovers, you know exactly who.
You know exactly who he is.
Right? Def Comedy Jam. He calls me. He says, are you available next year, December 5th? In my head, I'm like, he do know I just got booed at the Apollo. So I was like, yes, I'm available. He said, all right, you're booked for the Apollo. So after doing Showtime at the Apollo, amateur night, I get booked on it by Def Comedy Jam's Bob Sumner. If that ain't God, what is? So I did that night. That night is when I decided that, I was opening up my club. I made the announcement publicly, and it was bananas. My energy, my anxiety was ridiculous. I needed to be on medication. Like, that's how excited I was. That's how nervous I was.
Well, I believe that the greatest medication is success.
My anxiety level, like, now I understand why Michael Jackson took that stuff. My anxiety level was crazy. It was crazy. I lost friends during that time because I was edgy. I was nervous. I was cranky. And I had to calm my butt down.
And that sometimes you need a Long Island iced tea. Cheers to you.
For real.
Sometimes you need some success and some iced tea to calm the nerves. And shout out to everybody who just joined. This is Tuned In, presented by the TKB Report. I'm your host, K. Langevine, and my special guest is the fabulous Monique Latise.
I wish you guys could ask me some questions. I would love to answer a question.
Well, you know what? Let's get to that. You got 2 minutes. We got 120 seconds. Any question that you want to ask the fabulous Monique Latise, let's get to it.
Am I single? Yes. Am I looking for a pop? Yes.
All of you people out there that got uncles out there that got $1,800 million sitting in their bank account because they've been retired from working for Ford General Motors for 48 years, holla at Monique Latise.
He just got to know how to get money. He ain't got to have all the money. He just got to know how we can get the money.
Well, she giving you all of the
viewers. I've always been too real. I'm so real that my energy won't even allow you to catch the vapors because I'll smell it. I'll call it out. Like, nobody can catch the vapors with me because I'm funny acting anyway. If I want to be bothered with you, I do. If I don't, I don't.
Well, guess what? Author James Robin want to know, do you still believe in love?
I love love. I love romance. Oh, my God. Yes, I do.
Well, you got to, he said, okay, never mind. I don't know what that means, Bruce, you crazy. I don't know what that means. But you need to get the book, My Butterfly, by Author James Robin.
Oh, okay.
But listen, Monique, no questions, just sending love and great interview. Appreciate you, Kizzy. Listen, I appreciate you taking the time out to come on my platform. You're the first episode of season 2. The TKB Report, Tuned In, is thankful that all of you joined for the first episode of season 2. Hopefully you will come back, for all the episodes to come. Make sure you follow at Monique Latise on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, all of that. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, K. Langevine. She's Monique Latise. This is Tuned In, and we are signing off. Peace.